Today is a day of joy and dread for many writers across the world. NanoWrimo is about to end. For those of you that have won NanoWrimo or have hit the 50k, I would just like to say congratulations, you have a novel or a non-fictional book or whatever the hell you're writing. To those of you that did manage to hit 50k or whatever the goal was, do not despair. If you have managed to actually do anything about that writing, whether it's planning for the novel or book, whether it's actual writing in the book, be happy because many people don't actually get to that first step. However, do definitely continue writing, even if it's at a slow pace throughout December or whatever month, because it's gonna get very festive soon, so you may not have the time. Now, I would like just to share a couple of things that I learned in previous NaNoWrimos, as well that I have experienced this year. As you may know from the previous video to this one, I recently went to a trip in Venice, and that took about a fourth of my time in NaNoWrimo off the chart. I planned to actually write during the trip, during the mornings and during the evenings, but that never happened, or at least it didn't happen as much as I would like to. However, I did manage to hit the 50k thanks to including plot preparation and such that I did during the month. So technically it's not entirely fiction, but it's also preparing for the novel, if that makes any sense. Now, sometimes you have obstacles like this that you cannot avoid, and the first thing that is ideal to do around that is to plan your month ahead in terms of writing. You may have a course, you may have a job, and these are things that you are not able to skip in any sort of way, or you would get some negative effects from skipping. Now, instead of giving them up, you should plan around those, and even if it's just writing, say, in 5-minute periods between work and such, schedule it that way, because doing it that way, you at least are getting some of the words down, if not the entire daily word goal. The second tip is what every single writer has told me, and you'll keep hearing it in NaNoWrimo: write every single day, because that's the surest way of actually hitting NaNoWrimo. If you write every single day and you stick to the word goal of that day, you'll eventually hit the 50k and you will win. Now, for many people that's impossible for the reasons that I said in tip number 1, and what you want to do in that case is write ahead. Write more than you need to. Because there may be days that you're not able to write at all, and if you write and have a little bit of a cushion ahead, do not use it if you can avoid it, because you may need it later on. You'll be much better prepared to actually win NaNoWrimo. For instance, one day, instead of writing 1,667 words, which is what you would do in a normal schedule, I wrote about 8,000 words, and that gave me plenty of cushion. However, I used all of it soon because I knew that I was going to be quite deeply involved with some university project I had at the time. So essentially, it boils to time management with the 3 things. There are things you cannot avoid, and you need to schedule things around them. Having a certain consistency throughout every single day writing NaNoWrimo makes it so much easier to actually hit. And writing ahead and doing more than you need to make sure that you can actually have some days where you don't need to write and eventually hit it. If you do all of these 3 things, you may be able to hit 50k really easily, or actually more. Now, I would like to wrap it up again with the first commentaries, that if you have hit 50k or whatever your word goal was, sorry, I cannot speak today, congratulations, you have written a piece of work, whether that's fiction or non-fictional. I sincerely don't care. I'm happy for you. If you haven't actually managed to finish it, whether you just planned it out or written actually part of it, or you are really close to finishing, be proud of yourself, because you have done something that many people haven't done, which is actually take a first step. However, you have not reached your goal yet. Keep going at it. And even those that have written their 50k and such, they have not actually done a novel. They have a first draft. They still need to edit it to actually make it publishable, or it may be that they don't want to publish it, but even if it's just for themselves, they still have the editing to do. So do not feel sorry for yourself. Do not feel sad that you haven't actually managed to get there, because they haven't either. just keep going at it. Keep going at it, because the best way to improve any skill, as I said in the previous video, is to actually practice. And if in this month that means that you have planned how to write, whether that means that during this month you have learned how to plan your novel, how to plan your month, you've learned from doing the mistakes and not actually hit the goal because of that, be proud of yourself, because you've actually done something that will help you in the future. So essentially, I just wanted to give congratulations to people that did manage to hit the 50k or whatever the goal was, and to say that do not despair those that have not managed to hit it. Be proud of yourself. Keep practicing and you'll eventually get there, because as most things in life, it's a skill, and if you keep doing it, you will eventually get better at it. And whether that means better pros, more pros, or both, doesn't matter. You will eventually get there. So keep writing and keep writing and keep writing. Whether it's November next year or whether it is throughout the year, just write. If it's what you want to do, write. Do it, and eventually you'll get better. Every writer starts writing quite crappy pieces of work, to be honest. Or even if they are somewhat good, they are definitely not masterpieces. It's through the editing that it actually becomes really good. So don't worry if it's bad at the moment. Don't worry if you haven't actually managed to hit your goal just yet. Don't worry even if you haven't managed to hit the plot point that you wanted to just yet. Keep writing, keep doing it, because NanoWrimo is not an end goal. NanoWrimo is a tool for you to use to get to that goal. And whether it has got you all the way through, or you need more tools to get to that project, to getting that project finished, doesn't matter. Just keep going at it. Thank you.